Woot, 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 woot. Hello.
Greetings, greetings. How you
Aha.
stay?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited about this evening's show. I'm excited about our listeners, our viewers, all our guests that we have lined up. Welcome, welcome one and all to Campus Connection. It's not a joke. It's not a prank. I know it's April 1, but it's really Campus Connection. Really, really Campus Connection. And it's brought
Yeah.
to you by none other than Heart NSCHS. Skill is power. Let's have a word from our sponsor.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
All right.
Where are the campus nights? Students are strapped up in a prize.
Yes, yes, yes. It is Campus Connection, and we are excited. Happy New Month, everyone.
Happy New
We're
Month.
excited
Yeah.
about today's show because we're talking about staying the course, and this is part one. Right. So we have for you a special interview with Mrs. Sophia Tomlinson Manning. She's a master teacher and events coordinator from Hopewell High School in Hanover. I believe this might be our first time interviewing someone from Hanover, so I'm excited about
Mm-hmm.
that. We also have our I Chose Christ feature as always, but this time it's being presented by Kiona Bryson, a Wolmer's High School student. Uh, and we also have our main discussion, which, of course, as we said, it's staying the course. But we're going to have on today's show, we're going to have some reps from the Michael University College. And we have Miss Erica Bennett and Mr. Mickton Ebanks as they share on their teaching journey. So you would have remembered, Jonathan, we spoke to the JTA president last week,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought some insight as to some of the challenges our teachers are facing. And so this week we're actually hearing from the teachers in training to see, how are they faring and what are the challenges they're encountering so far.
Definitely should be quite interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. Oh, let's pause right now because it's April 1, which would mean that we are coming from a very exciting weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Over the weekend, we had the ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships.
Mm-hmm.
Big, big things go on, big, big things. I mean, it was a nail biting finish, to
Yeah.
say the least, but a big, big congratulations to the schools, all the schools, firstly, because to enter
All the
champs
schools.
is, yeah, it's not an easy thing to enter champs. We have to make that abundantly clear, and we need people to understand that, because I hear some people talking, and the way in which they're talking is like they are referring to the student athletes like established athletes,
Wow.
like they've been doing this for decades at a
Mm-hmm.
time, but they're just children, guys. Let's reel it in a little as much
Yeah.
as possible.
Cut them
But
some
big up
slack.
to, yeah, please, no, please. But big up to Kingston College, as the champions for the boys, and of course Hydel High School for the wonderful work that the young ladies would have done, because they were not leading actually
Mm-hmm.
throughout the competition, and I thought that it was so interesting that them just take time creep up,
Mm-hmm.
right to the top. So big congratulations again to Casey and to Hydel on their
Absolutely.
success over the weekend.
And Kingston College, of course, celebrating their 100, how you say, 100th?
I believe so.
Right. Yeah, 100th year anniversary. So this is
Big.
a monumental win for them. They
Mm-hmm.
ended the day or the championship with 293 points. And then
Mm-hmm.
Heidel, of course, with 277 points. Now, as you said, Jonathan, it's not very easy to compete, be a student athlete, especially in the Jamaican track and field landscape, because Jamaican track and field landscape is very competitive. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like your
Mm-hmm.
average, okay, PE, go to school sports day type of thing, but it's extremely competitive so for
Extremely.
them to do this well and still manage to be doing well in school, our students are working really hard.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So big
Yeah.
congratulations again to all the students who participated. And if you didn't make it to champs this year, boy, we still have next year. That's if you're not leaving school. But even if you're leaving school, you still can pursue your goals and your dreams, because that's what life is all about, going after what we would want to achieve in life. Correct? Right. Lovely. We're going straight into our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by Camille Lawrence, campus consultant here inside Campus Connection on the Family Station Love 101.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, April 1, 2025. Education Ministry launches US $3.7 million joint digital transformation program. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information has partnered with several United Nations organizations to launch a US $3.7 million program that aims to transform Jamaica's education sector. The launch of the Sustainable Development Goals SDG Joint Program on Digital Transformation for Education was held on Tuesday, March 25 at Cumberland High School in Portmore. The initiative is supported by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, World Food Programme, WFP, and United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF. It is financed by the Sustainable Development Goals SDG Fund. Kingston College wins their 36th champs title, while Heidel High reclaims the crown for girls. Kingston College celebrated their centenary with a 36th hold on the Mortimer Geddes Trophy, winning boys champs, and Heidel High won their second girls championships in 3 years as another spectacular Issa Grace Kennedy's Boys and Girls Athletics Championships come to an end at the National Stadium on Saturday. Kingston College gave outgoing head coach Ledford Grant a great going away gift as they amassed 293 points to turn back the challenge of Calabar High in one of the most closely run champs. Heidel High took full advantage of mistakes made by Edwin Allen High School to romp to a solid win, scoring 277 points, 11 more than Edwin Allen's high 266, with Homewood Technical a creditable third with 230.5 points. The top five schools for boys were Kingston College with 293 points, Calabar High with 229.25 points, Jamaica College 207 points, St. Jago High 135 points, Excelsior High 78 points. The top five girls' schools were Heidel High with 277 points, followed by Edwin Allen High with 266 points, Homewood Technical 230.5, St. Jago High 149, followed by Immaculate Conception with 100 points. The close of Saturday's events marked the end of the 115th staging of the event. The Michael University College presents Michael Week 2025, April 7 to 11, under the theme Leading with Integrity, Impact, and Innovation. On April 7, there will be General Assembly. On April 8, Research Spotlight and Luminary Session. April 9, Sports Day. April 10, Student Awards and Glenn Owens Lecture. April 11, Founders Day Thanksgiving Service, Alumni Luncheon, and Guild Fest. The Jubilee Worship Center School Missions presents Interschool Worship Experience with dance, drama, breakout sessions, word, and a surprise guest artist. That's Sunday, April 13, starting at 9 a.m. at the Jubilee Worship Center, 36 Valdez Road. That's the education news and bulletins for Campus Connection. I am Camille Lawrence.
All right. Thank you so much to Camille for the education news and bulletin. And we just want to invite you, if you haven't already done so, please join us on our live stream right now. We are live. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And we would love to hear from you concerning this question. Why should teachers continue in the profession despite the challenges they face? Why should teachers continue in the profession of teaching despite the challenges they face? Do you even think they should continue?
Mm.
Do you think they should just find another career? What is your opinion on that? We want to hear from you. You can comment on our live stream. You can also reach out to us on our studio lines. The numbers are 876-968-8327 and 876-968-8328. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. So why should teachers continue in the profession despite the challenges they face?
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, do you want to chime in now or later?
Let's wait until later because that's a heavy one. That's a
Yeah.
heavy one right there. And I have to give some more thought to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, let's get ready for our
Yeah.
special interview with Mrs. Sophia Tomlinson Manning, master teacher and events coordinator from Hopewell High School, located in Hanover. Boy, what a woman. We are so excited to be speaking with her this evening. Mrs. Manning, greetings. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Good.
Good,
Welcome
good,
to the
Awesome.
good.
show.
Thank you.
You
Awesome.
know, as I see you, you strike me as a master teacher. You have that
Yeah.
look, you know, you have that look
Yes,
like,
Ah,
yeah,
flattery will
man.
get
that's
you nowhere,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
true. As I
that's
saw
good.
her, she reminds me of Mrs. Joan Davis Williams from Arden. Yeah, man,
Wow.
she has that. Yeah, as you see, Germany is saying she looks like Joan. I agree. I very much agree. Yeah, man. But we're so excited to have you on the show, to be with here to talk about, just a little bit, because I know it's a lot that you would have been able to achieve over the years. We want to really applaud you firstly, and
Thank you.
then go into what exactly it is that is happening at Hopewell High School this week. So you can feel free to take it away and let us know.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. This week is a big week here at Hopewell High School. We'll be hosting our annual school expo, and
Mm,
it the stage is big. It's going to be a big event here at Hopewell High School. The
Hmm.
teachers have been preparing the students, and the students have been working very hard to put together their displays, and so it is going to be a big event. Yes, it's a big event happening here on Thursday. A lot of
Hmm.
persons have shown interest in what is happening here. Persons have called us for invitations to be here. And so, I mean, a lot of the schools, the principals, their students and teachers ready to come out on Thursday.
mm,
Awesome. So, what time does the event start? Also, tell us a little bit more about what to expect from the expo.
So it starts at 9 o'clock, and it's under the theme Uniting Culture and Creativity, celebrating our collective expressions. And the expo is taking the form of a village. And so there are going to be
Mm.
village tours. So we have tour guides who will be taking patrons throughout the villages at different times of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We also have different items or different clubs will be performing at different parts of the villages. We have the Rastas who have shown an interest, and so they will be drumming on main stage for about 30 minutes on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of things will be happening. We are going to be having musical performances. We're having career booths. We're having the exhibitions will be led by students. So we have those exhibitions. We have culinary displays going on, and we have games and interaction activities. We are also having a lot of the hotels have expressed interest. So the hotels will
Mm.
be showing up. We have Heart coming in to do some live demonstrations, ice carving, fruit carving. And so it's a lot going on here Thursday. It's going to be a lot.
No, that
Wow.
sounds like a lot. I mean, I love the idea of the villages and having the tours and all of that. That sounds very, very exciting. But you
And
mentioned
to add to
just
that, sorry,
mhm.
to that, the language department will be doing Shakespeare. And so they have the entire
Mm.
scene set. So it's just an exciting day planned for Thursday. It's very exciting.
Wow.
Wow, wow. That actually sounds very exciting. And we want to hear much more about it after the break. So I want you to stick and stay with us for more Campus Connection.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
On the next episode of The Mailbox, we'll be focusing on financial management. Financial management is the business function concerned with planning, sourcing, deploying, and controlling financial resources to ensure profitability and financial security. It encompasses managing cash flow, investments, and liabilities, ultimately aiming to maximize value for the organization. You are invited to join the conversation as we speak with financial advisor Mr. Floyd Wilson. The Mailbox is brought to you by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited. That's Wednesday, April 2 at 5:30 p.m. only on the family station, Love 101. The Mailbox, Monday.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a prize.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is certainly a lovely Tuesday afternoon, and we are here with Mrs. Sophia Tomlin Manning from the Hopewell High School. And just before the break, she was telling us a little bit about their expo that's coming up this Thursday. And Mrs. Manning, if you would, can you give us some more details as to why are you so passionate about events like these at your institution? Do you what role do you feel like it plays in the overall development? I don't know, of the students, of just the school culture.
It's really about empowering our students. We have gotten some beaten over the years. In recent times, we had some negative things going on in social media about the school. And so
Mm,
we're trying to let persons know that it's not all negative things that are happening here.
yeah.
We are not we do not get the brightest of brightest students, but when we get them and we prepare them for the skill areas, that is where they shine. And so
Mm,
sometimes the negative things out there overshine or outshine the positive things. And so we are trying to get the community and wider Jamaica to understand that things are happening at Hopewell High School. The students have a lot of skills that we are pulling out of them. And so we want persons to know that Hopewell High School, with all that's happening out there in the news, in the media, Hopewell High School is still a good school for students to come, for parents to send their students. And so we are trying to get the information out there to persons that Hopewell High School is not all bad. It's not all bad.
Wow.
And
Absolutely.
at the same time, we are trying to empower our students. We have invited in the feeder schools because we want the feeder schools to know what is happening here so that when the parents are trying to choose a school for their students at prep, Oprah High School will be a choice.
Mm.
So that's one of the reasons why we are so passionate about this expo, so that persons will understand what is happening and they can see firsthand the skills that are at Hopewell High School.
Hmm. And is there a cost attached to the expo? Is there a cost?
What we do not want to put a cost, so we have said to some of the schools, like the primary schools, give us a contribution. So we want them to decide what they want to do, what they want to give us. We don't want to put a cost on it and then persons
Hmm.
are deterred by a cost. So we
Mm.
asking, give us a contribution. So, to help with what we are doing. Because
Okay.
we want
Okay.
persons to come out. We don't want anything at all to prevent persons from coming out.
Hmm.
Mm. Powerful, absolutely powerful. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopewell High School's Expo happening, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be major, so you want to be a part of it this Thursday at 9 a.m. on the grounds of
Right.
the school. Thank you so much, Mrs. Manning, for being a part of the show this evening. We are really grateful that you would have taken the opportunity to speak with us during this segment. And all the very best for Thursday, and
Thank
for
you.
life
Thank you.
on a whole. All
Thank
right.
you. Yes,
All
thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you for coming. All the best to you
Yeah,
guys too.
man. Thank you so much. Big things happening in Hanover, Hopewell High School having their Expo 2025. Wow. I don't know. It kind of make me feel a while ago like me just want to take a trip, go down to Hanover.
I
But
know. Yeah.
work and them thing there. But big things, exciting things are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is a good segue, I believe, because she spoke about
Mm-hmm.
empowering students. And I just believe it's a good segue into our next feature, which is my personal favorite. I chose Christ. And we have with us Kiona Bryson from the Women's High School for Girls. Listen in and be blessed.
My name is Kiona. I am a fourth former at Wolmer's. I am excited to share with you how God has transformed my life since I gave my heart to Him. At the age of 14, I made the decision to get baptized. It was an incredible experience, but what's even more amazing is the journey I've been on since then. Before I became a Christian, I struggled with self doubt, anxiety, and feelings of insecurity. I often felt like I didn't fit in or that I wasn't good enough. But as I began to read my Bible, pray, and surround myself with positive influences, I start to see myself and my circumstances through different eyes. I realized that I was loved, valued, and created for a purpose. Over the past 2 years, I experienced God's faithfulness and love in ways I never thought possible. He helped me to overcome challenges, build meaningful relationships, and discover new passions and talents. One of the most significant changes I've noticed is the peace and confidence that I now have. I am no longer held back by fear, doubt, or insecurity. Instead, I am able to face challenges head on, knowing that God is with me every step of the way. If you are struggling with feelings of inadequacy, self doubt, or uncertainty, I want you to know that there is hope. God is real and He is waiting to transform your life in ways you have never thought possible. Don't be afraid to surrender your life to Him. He is faithful, trustworthy, and loving. And when you put your trust in Him, you'll discover a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment that you've never thought possible. I chose Christ. You should too.
Amen. Amen. Oh, That was so good. That was so, so good. And a special thank you to Kiona for sharing her testimony on how she chose Christ and she experienced a life of joy and fulfillment that really stuck with me. I guess because I experienced the same thing. And so I know what that's like. And I'm so grateful to know Christ. How about you, Jonathan? Are you with us?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm here with you, and I am there with Kiona as well. A life of joy and peace is awaiting you, campusites. Just in case you are listening and you are not yet saved, it's a good time to pause and encourage you that the best decision you can make is a life with Jesus Christ. Most important
Absolutely.
decision that you can make. I can't stress it enough. I really can't. Please give him a chance, just in case everything seems a bit daunting and you wonder, oh God, what am I going to do? Where am I going to turn? Turn to Jesus. All right? Lovely. Amazing. All right. So
Yeah.
we are continuing nicely in this evening's show. Remember, we're talking about staying the course, and this is the first in the series. So, we have a lot to discuss and a lot to unpack, right? So, we want to
Guys, that's
get straight
Jonathan's favorite word, unpack.
unpack, don't. Yeah, because there's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. I'm just
There's
saying.
always, always.
Oh boy. Remember, our social media question is why should teachers continue in the profession despite the challenges they face? Why should teachers continue in the profession despite the challenges they face? And of course, we want you to interact with us. You can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or comment on our live stream on Facebook, on TikTok, or on YouTube at Love 101 Jamaica. Yeah. Shall we
Yeah,
introduce our guests?
sure, we shall.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, first of all, we have Miss Erica Bennett, a guidance counselor. She's a Christian. She works as an educator slash guidance counselor in Jamaica's education system. And she is a sister to six brothers. Now, I have four, and I know what that was like. So I can't imagine six. But
Wow.
yes, ladies and gents, she has six brothers. Her mantra has always been to seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added. And while seeking, he will grant to her the desires of her heart. So Erica Bennett is on with us. We also have Mr. Micton Ebanks, a senior teacher at Black River High School. Micton Banks is an education enthusiast, dedicated individual with a passion for shaping young minds. He serves as a senior teacher at Black River High School, entrusted with the responsibility of overseeing student leadership and internal exams. Beyond the classroom, though, he actively contributes to the community as chairman of Pondside Primary School, and he's also serving as treasurer on his church board in St. Elizabeth. So, quite a bit of responsibility on his shoulders. And we're so grateful to have Miss Bennett and Mr. Banks here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you for having me. Good evening,
Awesome.
everyone. Hi, Migton.
Wonderful. Hey,
It's a link
family
up.
reunion.
Yes,
I love it. We
absolutely.
love
Hi,
it. We
hi,
love it.
Erica. Hi. Mwah.
All right. We have a lot to discuss. But we have to get into our Vox Pop because we did ask the question, and so we want to hear from the people. So let's have the Vox Pop now. All right. Seems as if we're having a bit of technical difficulty. So we'll go to our break and then come back with more campus connection.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a prize. We see the yard, yard, yard. What a
credit card is far more than a piece of plastic connected to an account that provides an easy way out when you're short on funds. A credit card allows you to make digital payments that can help you meet personal or business expenses. This is critical to remember. It is not your money. You have to pay it back in full and on time, or your credit will suffer.
This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Get ready to lift your praise this Worship Wednesday, coming your way inside Alive 1 to 5, April 2, packed with wonder, worship, warmth, and spiritual wisdom. Mental Mavericks assemble for the brain testing Menticize at 1:45. At 2:15, we feature Rhoda Isabella as our worship artist of the day. At 3 p.m., find out what's hot, what's new, what's next. Your scoop on entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. Stick and stay for more fun coming your way as Auntie Vashti wraps things up at 4:30 p.m. with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive 1 to 5 this World of Worship Wednesday, April 2, where all is well with the creative Jesus guy, Darren Mitchell. Let the worship waves wash you over on the family station, Love 101.
Where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a prize.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. This evening we're talking about stay in the course, and you may be wondering, what course? What are we talking about? We want to know about our teachers. We want to find out why should they continue in the profession even though there are so many challenges, so many situations, so many conditions that they have to face on a daily basis. And with us, we have Mr. Ibanks from Black River High School, senior teacher at Black River High School, and guidance counselor, Miss Erica Bennett. So we really want to find out what's going on. So we draw for the experts, the people on the ground. Yeah, man. I see Mrs. Bennett look like the expert. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
Alex.
So yeah, man. So Miss Bennett, let's start with you. Why are you in the profession that you're in? Can you think back to young Erica making this decision that, hey, this is what I'm going to do? Why?
All right. So initially, the career path chose me, right? Because I started out as a teacher in Sunday school. There was a need for the children at my church in the country to have Sunday school by themselves, and I was the teacher at the time. No, that's where I started, and ever since then, from Sunday school to pre-trained teacher to a trained graduate, I chose to follow Christ. Now, as I continued the journey, I realized that when I started with those children, it wasn't just my decision, it was Christ who was guiding my path, right? Because the things that I taught them and how the Holy Spirit led me to teach them and to be friends with them and to be there for them to come and speak with, I realized that it was the Lord who was actually leading me into teaching.
Wow.
So that's how my journey started.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So, what about you, Mr. Banks? How did you get into teaching?
Good evening again, everyone. My mother, she was a teacher, and I think that is where I would have drawn my inspiration from. And then see my mama teaching, and then while I was at primary school, and my mother was there, and I know, and she was teaching. I used to come home and I would teach, for example, trees, and I would teach desk, whatever there was. I would teach my neighbor. Eventually it just grew on me. But to be honest, when I got older, and when it was time to go to college, and I said, all right, I was battling between doing law or going into teaching. And to be honest, my age at that time when I started college, because Erica would know, when I started college, I was very small. I started out when I was 18 years old. So that's why, to me, I think I went into education. And I actually had a passion for it. I loved doing it. So I just
Mm-hmm.
continued it and I just did it. And see me here now with years after still in education.
Wow, wow, wow. That's powerful. That's absolutely powerful. It's just so amazing how both of you, it's literally like the profession chose you based on,
Yeah.
the stories that you have. It's not like you decided that, hey, this is what I want to do. It's almost as if it was a natural progression.
Yes.
So the Vox Pop that we spoke about earlier, it's now ready. So we will take those responses now.
Despite the challenges teachers face, they should continue teaching in the profession because recently it has been evident that there has been a lack of teachers in Jamaica migrating overseas for a better working condition. And as we know that Jamaica is a developing country, and children need teachers so they can be better in whatever area they're planning to do in the future. Yeah.
I feel so they can educate we so we can come big in our job and all sort of manner.
Without teachers, despite the challenges they face on a daily basis, people or children would not be able to matriculate into the field they want to matriculate into.
So we need teachers because we need help. Like me one person where we need like a somebody to actually dead the board and I go through it and explain it unless I won't learn. Whether I watch videos or watch something over camera or something, I have to have somebody in front of me explain to me, say that's how it go. I have to see them and write the numbers or the word so I can get it clearly. That's
While I do believe that it would be good for the teachers to continue, as it would it would definitely help benefit the children and those who are learning, because a hands-on experience and with a teacher you have a more personal experience. Even if it's a lot of people in the class, they get to connect with the teacher more. But as for the teacher, I don't think you should continue because I really try to channel and run through my brain to find any ups and downs. Besides the fact that you're inspiring hope and possibly you have your chance to help and impact and benefit the next generation, you could possibly be the change in how um Jamaica goes, in the direction that Jamaica goes. But besides that, as it comes monetarily and it comes like it's mentally and physically draining, because I have a mother and a sister who are both teachers, and I understand that can be very, very hard. And I don't really see it. It doesn't really show off and doesn't pay instantly. But if you're somebody who yes, definitely wants to see the impact later in life, or someone who's waiting for it, then as a teacher, yeah. But if you're a teacher and it's really about what's happening now and how you're feeling now and a job that makes you happy now, then maybe maybe teaching isn't really a field.
So, as I'm listening to the responses from our students, I can't help but wonder your take on this question, Miss Bennett, Mr. Banks. Do you feel like teachers should continue despite the challenges they face? Should they continue to teach? What say you, Miss Bennett?
I think that it's going to boil down to personal decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as there's a saying that teaching is a calling, and some people will definitely see it as such. However, there's going to be that set of teachers who are not going to be financially satisfied, and therefore they are going to opt to leave the profession, and we
Mm-hmm.
can't hold them. However, we can definitely work on the work environment for them, Ms. Samuel, so that teachers can have a better working environment. And that is going to be come down to the individual schools where teachers work. Leadership has to ensure that teachers have an environment in which they feel comfortable to work
Mm-hmm.
in. So yes, I'm going with some are going to stay, some are going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I heard you mention a better working environment. I feel like that's one of those things that help our teachers to stay motivated when they come to work and they know just the physical environment, it's ready, it's prepared for learning. So Mr. Banks, can you speak more to that as to what are some of the things that can help our teachers to feel motivated to continue in the profession?
All right, let me tell you one of the one I'm a type of person where I enjoy whatever I do. I try my best to enjoy whatever I do. So Erica smiling, she knows me like that, right?
Yeah.
And what I look forward to when going to work, we have to create an environment. As an individual, we have to know that, look, when we step into the workplace, what is relationship like with your colleagues? You have to first pay attention to that. Because if you go in a workplace that you're comfortable, then you function better. So I try my best to develop excellent relationship with my colleagues, excellent relationship with my students. When we speak about the whole teaching profession, I mean, as Erica said, I mean, we know that teachers are overworked at times. It is a profession that most persons might see as maybe not important, but it's very, 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 very important. And I think that it's about your mindset. You have to understand that teaching is not just about the money, because that's not there, but you have to think about the impact that you're making. And I think one thing that I enjoy with teaching is that when you can see a young girl or a young boy in the future, they grow up to be something, or you have to guide them along the way. You have that
Mhm.
sense of comfort that you made that change, and if you even change one person, to me that's enough. So that is
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I enjoy teaching, and I see teaching as very important, and I think that it is one of the best professions out there.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Sir Ibanks, I hear you and I understand exactly what you're saying.
Mhm.
You said something a while ago that teaching is one of the best professions out there, but could we also say that it's one of the most strenuous? I believe it was last week. Anesta and I were talking, and we're speaking about the whole. Sorry, the name from last week come up in my head a while ago. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, we're talking about the whole one teacher being responsible for a class of 30, a class of 20, a class of
Mhm.
40,
Yeah.
and that's multiplied by several classes in the high school
Right.
since. And then you get your salary on the 25th, the 23rd, the 24th, whenever. Um, how you feel? No, no. Let's talk. Let's
Let
be
me t-
real.
no,
How do you
Mr.
feel?
Pierce?
let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct, because, for example, in the high school, I have class size of, let's say, 35 students. And if I teach seven,
Wow.
that's 7 times 35.
Yes.
I talk with so let me, and then you have to deal with 35 different personalities. You have to mark
Mm-hmm.
35
Right.
papers per class. So it is
Mm-hmm.
strenuous, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of work. And what I have done over the years, I have decided that, and this is something that works for me, I do not take my teaching home. I
Mm.
leave my
Mm.
Absolutely.
work at work, and I
Mhm.
found out that, you see, if you don't do that as a teacher, you'll get burned out easily.
Burnout. Hmm.
So
Mm.
what I say is that if I have test papers to mark, I mark them at work when I have my little free sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I ensure I have my lunch time to, I take my break time too. But whatever work needs to be done is done at school, 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ibanks, when man reaches 3 o'clock, I don't want no school business. No school business. I had to do this for myself, and it's something
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
teachers need to do for themselves. And until we let persons know that, look, where teachers are from, let us say, 8:30 to 3. After 3, it's our time to go home, to relax, eat some ice cream, put our foot up, watch a movie. We're not putting on any grades, we're not marking any exams, we're not marking any SBAs. That is my
Mm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
how I deal with it.
That's a very
Yeah.
radical stance, and I'm definitely in agreement with that. But we have a WhatsApp message here from Reverend Mitchell.
Mhm.
They're saying, as teachers, we must focus on what we want our students to achieve, not just on ourselves. Quite interesting. As teachers, and what we have to endure. This person says, my students are my priority,
Mhm.
especially those who want to learn.
Mhm.
Miss Bennett, how you feel about that? My
Well,
students are my priority. How do you feel about that?
I'm hearing a lot as a guidance counselor. I'm hearing a lot coming out here. My
Mm-hmm.
students are my priority. Yes, they are your
Mm-hmm.
priority, right? Because we are Christ's priority.
Mm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus took time out to go to the garden and pray
You're
because he
preaching. You're
was about
preaching.
he was
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
in a situation where he needed sustenance, so he had to go and get closer to his to God, right? So yes, our students are, and I'm agreeing that our students are priority, but there has to be some balance. Jermaine, are you listening? Some balance so that when you go home, and my pastor would support this as well, you have time for your family, which is the first, which comes first. So you have time for your family, and in that structure you have yourself, and each child, sometimes you may need time to set aside for you and your child. You you have the two gender in your family. You have time for your son as opposed to time for your daughter, because they need to learn certain different things. So yes, your students are your priority. However, we have to package them or section them so that each person is not left. And sometimes somebody does get left behind, but we try to
That's
create a
very true.
balance.
Very, very true. We're going to give our producer some time to recover from that
All
just
that
now.
shade.
Well, we'll be back with more Campus Connection after these messages.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a pride.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Maxfield Easter Bun, the juicy fruity Easter bun. Order online and send abroad at maxfieldbakery.com or call Maxfield Bakery at 926-2160 or 929-3897 and get yours before they're done. Scatter say so.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a pride.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is a lovely Tuesday afternoon, and we are here with Miss Erica Bennett and Mr. Micton Ebanks talking a little bit about staying the course, how teachers manage to continue despite the odds, despite the challenges they face, how they manage to continue in their profession. And I wanted to find out from our guests because we heard from some of our students earlier, and I believe we have another Vox Pop lined up in a few minutes. But just before they come with that, I wanted to find out from our guests, how do you feel about, well, I believe Mr. Ebanks said it sometime earlier, but just to really help us understand. You've invested so much of your life in teaching, in training, and developing students. Now your student comes out to be someone successful, someone who is, doing well in life. How does that make you feel? And is that a reason to continue in the profession? Mr. Banks.
um, if you, I see Miss Benny laughing at me, and you might say that teaching, it doesn't, say it doesn't pay us enough, but I think one of the comfort that we get out of teaching is when we go out in society on the road and we see our past students come to us and say, for example, sir, I remember when you did this for me. I can give you a perfect example. I remember the other day I went on a Sunday, I went to purchase some ice cream. And when I stepped into the ice cream, I had no idea who owned this place. And a student came over and he said, sir, you don't remember me? And I said, to be honest, no, because thousands of students passed through our hands over the years. I won't remember, but he said, sir, you taught me at Black River, sir. And he said, sir, look at me, look what I've done. I've created, because the motto for Black River is that we create our own destiny. And he looked at me and he said, sir, I have created my destiny. And he said, thank you very much, sir. And he said to me, sir, you can have ice cream on the house, sir.
What? Free ice cream? Wow, I have to become a teacher now. Free ice cream? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's an incentive. I mean,
it is true. It's not something that pays you financially that much, but when you just step out in society and you hear persons, I mean elderly persons, you have parents calling to you and say, Mr. Ibanks, thank you for this, thank you for what you did for my child. And if teachers were supposed to sit and tell you some of the stories, how many students' lives we have saved, and when we say save lives,
Mm,
we mean students have come to us as teachers sometimes and say stuff to us that Miss Erica as a guidance counselor we're baffled. And this is sometimes you have to sit and wonder to yourself. And I know I can't go no further than that. But I'm saying
mm,
teachers, we have to observe so much, we have to do so much. Persons
Yeah.
don't understand the professional teaching. The students look up to us as their parents, you know. Stuff that
Mm-hmm.
students say to us, they don't say to their parents.
Yeah.
And I think that is
Indeed.
something that keeps teachers in teaching because we know
Mm-hmm.
we have this impact on society. We know we have this important role to play. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is something that when we wake up in the morning and we say, Lord, we don't feel like we got to work. But then we think about maybe a student who knows how to run come and say, sir, how are you today? And I
Yeah.
always say to teachers, sometimes some students just come to you. And I remember one day a student come to me and say, sir, can I have a hug? And you know, I mean, I back up because
wow.
and I said, come, hug. And she said, sir, you know, my father never hugged me yet.
Wow.
Wow.
And then she walk off and you could just see the glow. And I'm saying to myself, people would not understand on a daily basis how much impact we have as teachers daily and
Yeah.
students. Some students just look forward just coming to school to see us as teachers. Believe it
Mm-hmm.
or not.
Yeah. And we have another round of Vox Pops here that we can hear some more from our students. And so we're gonna go to that, but we certainly appreciate you sharing that, Mr. Banks. Let's listen in now to our students.
I personally do not think that many teachers should continue with the profession because I see it as there's no monetary incentive to continue. They're constantly underpaid and overworked. There are a lot of students who are bad students and give teachers such a hard time, and then they go home with what with a measly paycheck and can barely cover rent or mortgage. I don't think teachers should continue in the profession.
Well, I think teachers should continue because, for example, in a case of online learning, that comes with its fair share of distractions, the social media, the YouTube, the TikTok. So I feel like in a more hands-on situation with an actual teacher, in a face-to-face, it helps you focus more. Although there are persons who learn in their own way and they prefer their one-on-one, but I do feel like there is a benefit to having a teacher in the space.
If we are called to the profession, we really don't have a choice. We are
That's
nation builders. And so, even if it's that we are going to train the next prime minister, the next lawyer, the next doctor, the next finance minister, who might not even consider teachers and giving us a good salary. But guess what? At the end of the day, we are teachers. And if we are called to the profession, we're just going to do it because we are about nation building. We have to build the next generation.
Teachers are very important in bringing up children, as without them we cannot operate. And seeing as we are in Jamaica, our curriculum is very different over from overseas, so we cannot be expected to bring teachers from overseas to teach Jamaican curriculum as they are not used to it. When we have teachers who would have already went through the Jamaica system, they would have an keen understanding and know how to reach out to the students and let them effectively learn.
So much to really look into based on what we would have
Wow.
listened to just
Mm-hmm.
now. One person said that, listen, if you call to it, pack up whatever it is that you have going on and just focus on doing what you're doing. That's what I got. But Miss Bennett, as a guidance counselor, because we're pressed for time, I'd want you to share with a teacher who may be listening, who is probably on the last thread of hope. Like she's about to send the email to
Mm.
say, hey, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. What would
Mm-hmm.
you say to that teacher? Let's try to bring it as condensed as possible.
Um, wow, that's a heavy one that
Mm-hmm.
needs a lot of time to unpack.
You put her on
However,
the spot.
two things came to mind. One, that story about the monkey who was in the tree, or
Mm-hmm.
some animal was in in a tree, and the banana fell, and the monkey ate the banana. um Sometimes something, you meet upon a situation that causes you to become very discouraged. However, when it takes a few time to reflect on what has been happening, you will come to understand that as a human being, you come upon situations that are going to dampen your spirit or cause you to become discouraged. And I'm going to switch quickly to the Bible, and it's where the Lord says to Joshua, "Have I not commanded you to be courageous, to be strong?" Right? The situations that we face them because they help to bring out the gold that is inside of us. Gold has to go through a particular process, right? So I would encourage the teacher who is, and I'm thinking of somebody right now who may need to call in a few minutes to
Wow.
encourage you to stick to the God in whom you have placed your trust ever since you were a child. Because the Bible tells us that before you were formed in your mother's womb, the Lord God knew you, and
Mm-hmm.
he formed you, he fashioned you for particular purposes. So if it is that the Lord formed you and created you for a particular purpose, which is teaching, then it must be to him to whom you will go, for him to sustain you, to renew you, to encourage you, to guide you, to direct your path, so that in at the end his name will be glorified in you and through you.
Wow, wow. I tell you, you thought you weren't ready, but you were. I'm just saying. You are definitely ready. I think that's a beautiful way to wrap. Sorry, Banks, have anybody that you want to shout out? Anybody that you want to bless up? You're muted.
Sorry about that. I just want to big up all my students at Black River High School, my teachers,
Mm-hmm.
family members. I know a lot of them are listening now. So I just want to say
Wow.
big them up because tomorrow when I go to school, I don't want them to have me up. All right. So I'm telling them up. All right.
Yes, Miss
Yes,
Bennett,
ma'am.
what about you? Anybody want to big up?
uh I'm not sure if I want to start calling names. However, there are a few persons who are listening.
Yeah, let's
um,
try to keep it. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. Somebody just messaged me a while ago to give me hand claps. So I want to big you up. You know who you are. Yeah. All the persons who are listening, all the Myconians, batch 169. I want to big you up and hope to see you next week, Friday at the Myco.
All right, all
All
right.
And the teachers at Black River High
Well,
School, we big them up. The
big
teachers
up.
Big up
and
Yes.
my
Joshua.
sister. My sister is listening from overseas. Love you, Kadia.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We are really pressed
Thank
for
you.
time and we have a few things left to do. We want to talk about Michael Week from April 7 to 11. You want to be a part of that. It promises to be absolutely powerful. So you can check that out. Of course, we have to pause to big up the wife of our producer on her birthday, Mrs.
Woot,
Shannon
woot, woot,
Johnson. We pray
woot.
God's continued grace upon her life. Greetings, of course, coming from Jermaine and son
I feel like
Malachi.
this picture should be on screen right now. Look how she
Yeah, no,
beautiful. Watch
no, nice
nine.
bad. But yeah, man, thank you so
Happy,
much for
happy
making it
birthday.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for making the campus connection here on the family station Love 101. Stay in the course. We'll continue the conversation next week, April 8th, same time at 5:30 p.m. And then, of course, we have pre-exam praise connect and study with Jesus, the fifth edition, coming up on April 15th. Big up, big up, big up to the team as per usual. Dr. Nadine Blair, Jermaine Johnson, Shania Smith, Daniel Cox, and David Sutton. Miss Eden Palmer, Ruth Lawrence, and Camille Lawrence, Raquel Robertson. Big up yourself and thank you so much, as per usual, for making Campus Connection what it is every single week. To our guests, Mrs. Sophia Tomlinson Manning, Kiona Bryson, Miss Erica Bennett, and of course, Mr. Ebanks. Wow, what a wonderful show you made this evening just by you being here and sharing your heart and your stories. That's it for our show this week. Campus Connection was brought to you by the one and only Heart NSTA Trust. Skill is power. See you next week as we explore more things while going on campus. I am Jonathan Fletcher.
And I'm Anesta. Stay the course.
Yeah.
Get ready for a worship-filled time inside Love in the Morning.